those who are here, I'm just going to go straight ahead and invite you. Let's start with that, and then we'll do a few other things, and then we'll start the program. So, Brian, I'm inviting you. Don't feel under pressure, but I'm just going to give everyone the opportunity. Don't feel under pressure. But if you can, I want you to just do 3 things for me. Tell us who you are, what you do, and how the last month, if anything, can help you. So, Ivan, welcome. Please go ahead.
Hi, welcome, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. So tell us who you are, what you do, and what the last month has been like, and any new thing you want to tell us is happening in your space, business, work, whatever. Let's do that pitch thing.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for such an opportunity. It's been long, and I'm grateful. I thank God that I'm back. Yes, so my name is Aidan Yofi Emmanuel Kumsen, and I'm a fashion designer based in Accra here, precisely Malam. And then we deal in male kaftans and also casual wears and suits as well. And for the last month, or for the past month, we've tried to look into other new designs and new aspects of the fashion world, and we have come to realize that there are even a lot of things that I didn't know about fashion that I'm learning how to know now, and I'm trying to now infuse the Western way of even lifestyle in terms of their culture into our culture, and it's mind blowing. In fact, the designs that are coming up are wonderful. So this is just some few things that I want us to have an idea of. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aidan. That's great. So learning new things is always a great idea. Always a great idea in whatever field you are in, and I'm glad you're taking those moves. So Aidan is a fashion designer for men, and we're glad to have you as part of the strategy club. All right, there's one more exercise. So if Aidan, you can mute when you're not speaking. You can mute, just click on the button. One more exercise. There are only 3 of us so far, and I'm sure others will join in along the line. So one of the things I want you to do is, I'm going to just pick one person. I'm going to pick one person, and I'm going to tap on their profile. I'm going to see their profile, and I'm going to make a compliment, and I'll allow you to do the same thing. So I'm looking at Brian's profile. Brian has a great photo and a great hat. I like the cap, the blue cap. Very good one. Nice. And this kaftan, I'm sure it looks like it's Aidan that designed it. Very nice one. One of the things that Brian wants to do is to populate his profile so that we can know more about him on Clubhouse. All right. So I want both of you to also do the same thing. If you want to tap my profile and see what is there, you can do that. If you want to tap Aidan, you can do that. Then I'll let you just comment. The same thing with Aidan. I like the black and white, but maybe a colorful red will be more noticeable. And then also the description of your profile. So I want you to just tap our profiles. Tap the picture. You see the profile. If you look at mine, you'll be able to see that I have written a lot about what I do, right? Because every opportunity you have on any platform, you want to make sure you are doing that so that people get to know who you are and what you do. So that's the next exercise. The third exercise, it's a strange exercise, right? If you want to pass comment, you can use the chat, or if you want to speak, you can also unmute and speak in that sense. Okay. To chat, to compliment someone. But the next exercise is the laughter. I just want you to think about something that will make you laugh, and just let out some laughter. Let out some laughter. It's therapeutic. Laugh, laugh heartily. If it's not coming, you can do ha 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 like me. You can do ha ha like me. Just laugh out loud, release the stress, so to speak, of the day as we go into the conversation. All right, I hope you got to do that. So we're going into the conversation, positioned for opportunities. And I want to encourage you. Uche, I'm great to see you. Welcome. I want to encourage you. Let me see I want to encourage you to share this with someone right now. Share it directly or share it in your WhatsApp. I assure you it's going to be quite insightful. Share it. Make sure somebody joins in to listen to us today. All right. So I'm going to share with us about, there are 4 or 5 key pillars I'm going to share today about being positioned for opportunities. And if we define opportunities as it's like a platform that someone gives you to advance your life, or that you get or you come across. It's almost like accidental, or is not something that is fully under your control. It's not fully under your control, but it has the capacity to advance your life, whether you are doing business, whether you are doing a job, whether it is whatever area of life. When we say there is an opportunity, we're saying there's like an open door. And a door is opened that you are not necessarily responsible for opening. But you see, you're not responsible for opening that door, but you're responsible for walking into it. Now, assuming that door is opened in such a way that there are 50 people standing in front of that door, you want to be at a place near that door that if they say only one person can pass through this door that opens once in a while, you will be the one to walk in. There's a story in the inspired scriptures about a certain pool of Bethesda, that every now and then an angel came to stir the water. And that when the angel stirred the water, the first person to jump in there would be healed. That's like a door, open door of opportunity. But that door is restricted. Not everyone can take advantage. Not everyone can enter. That is just the way life is. Not everyone can enter. But the person who is closest to the water at the time that it starts moving, that is the person that will get that breakthrough. So the conversation today is about how can we make sure that as much as is under our control, we are stepping in. We are ready to step into that door. We are ready to jump into that water. Elizabeth, great to see you. Welcome. That is the conversation. Being at that position where you are ready to take advantage of the opportunity. Now, the first thing I want to share, everything I'm going to share today, I'm going to share a personal story. And I'm being very vulnerable here, very open here about my journey. Some of the stories, I hope the background noise is not too heavy. Some of the stories I'm sharing with you are from as far back as 2008. And the reason I mention that date is because we just have to be resilient and patient and committed to progress if we're going to make any change with our life. We just have to be committed to it. The reason why things do not operate always the way we think they should is because few people have the resilience to see it through. Everybody has their story, and if you touch on the stories of anyone out there who has made anything significant of their lives, and everyone has at their own level. So, but there are levels and there are levels. A colleague will tell me that monkeys play by sizes, So it's as simple as that. Wherever you are, there's somebody you have gone beyond. Wherever you are, there's somebody that has gone beyond you. But how can we maximize our potential to the uttermost and make sure we're not missing out of doors that are open before us, of a stirring that is in the water? That stirring is not under our control. We don't know when the angel will come. We don't know, at all. We have no inkling. But are we positioned there so that immediately the moving happens, we are the ones that will step in? And let me make it more practical. We don't know when a big company will, float a vacancy. We don't know. We're not in control of that. We don't know when the government will change the policy, right? We don't know when the market demand will shift to something new. We don't know when COVID will come. Sometimes many negative stuff open up doors. But the point is being ready to take advantage at the point where something that is not in our control happens. Now, the first point I want to stress on is for us to change the way we think. Change the way you think. Change the way you think. I'm going to share this with a story that I had. This was probably around 2007, 2006, 2007. I was working as a contract staff with Airtel Nigeria. I was earning about 70,000 naira per month. 70,000 naira, probably around 700 at that time in cities. That's what I was earning. I was a graduate. I had a little bit of experience. It's great to see you. Those who are just joining, great to see you. Welcome. Share the link. Invite someone. I was a graduate. I was a graduate of photo. I was the best in my department. Had 3 segments. I was in electrical and electronic engineering. There was in that department there was communications engineering, there was power engineering, and there was electronic and computer engineering. I graduated as the best in electronic and computer engineering from my school, but I was earning 74,000, the equivalent of 700 cedis, as a contract worker in Airtel Nigeria. Right? So it's not about how good you are. There are some other dynamics you have to take, give into account in order to grab opportunities that are coming your way. So part of it has to do with the way we think. Sometimes the way we think is conditioned by what we've been through, by the environment we've been exposed to, right? And it limits how open we are to possibilities. And I'll share this with the story I'm sharing. A friend of mine visited me. I think he was working with Total Health. He got an opportunity because back then, all companies were coming to my school to pick people. He got one of the opportunities, a program organized by, I think it was Chevron or Total Health. And he said to me, when he came visiting, he was conversing with me, we were sharing experiences. And when I shared with him, I was a very open person, was my friend, so I shared with him once I was earning. He said that you can earn 3 times more than that. When he said that, you see, when people tell you things like that, or possibilities, when somebody tells you, Ida, do you know that you can make clothes for the president of Ghana? You will smile. You will not say it's not possible, but inside you, you are, the thing is not sitting, it's not settling, right? When someone tells you, brother, do you know that the UN can invite you to, begin to give programs to countries around Africa for secondary school children? Somehow inside you, it's not really getting in. So that was what happened to me. When he told me, you can earn 3 times this salary. You can earn, that means what he was saying is that the way I see you, what you have capacity to do, the development of your mental powers, the opportunities I have seen out there, I believe that you can earn 3 times your salary. But you see, I didn't really believe it. He believed it on my behalf. But I didn't believe it. Because even though I didn't say, I didn't believe it. I could have said amen. I could have said, yes, amen. But you see, it's not about the verbal amen. It's about a conditioning of your mental, framework to accept that certain things are possible for me. You see, I've qualified it. When we look at, a lot of times in our thinking, we distance ourselves from possibilities. Or we think something has happened. So what? Do you know that we are able to tell the stories? Do you know that so and so did so and so? Do you know that in England they support their entrepreneurs with thousands of dollars to make sure this. Do you know? So always creating scenarios in our minds that makes us distant from the possibilities mentally. That was what happened to me. I couldn't fathom. I could. There was no, in quote, neural pathway in my mind to see how I could go from earning 74,000 or 70 something thousand to 3 times that salary. But he said it very casually. He said it very easily. It was not, he didn't struggle to say it, because I believe that it was something he was already experiencing at that time. And we graduated together. We were year mates. He was in another department, chemical engineering. I was in electrical electronics engineering. He said it very easily. It wasn't difficult for him to conceive. And I want to ask you to, put your imagination to work and ask yourself, are there things that are still difficult for me to conceive for some reason or the other? You say, in fact, I'm too old. Oh, I'm a woman. Oh, I live in Africa. Do you know this is Africa? Oh, in fact, this company, it can't happen like that here. There are certain frames of mind that have stuck. They are like, some people call them, what do you call it? Limiting beliefs. They are like embedded in your subconscious. And it requires something that looks like an operation to change that kind of thinking so that you can embrace possibilities in the first place. If I were to go spiritual on this, I would tell you that I believe that there has to be an alignment between two things. You see, when it is written that you have 2 or 3 witnesses, when you, at the voice of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word is settled. Imagine you could place it this way and say, I am saying with my mouth that I want something. Oh, I want to be successful. I want to reach the peak of my career. I want a new job. I want a new business. I want customers to come. But there's a blocker inside your soul that even though you're saying it with your mouth, somehow your heart is not agreeing. And you see that when you speak accidentally, when you're not deliberately speaking, when you speak accidentally, what is really inside you comes out. It comes out the impossibility you see. So the first thing we have to do is to change the way we think. As a man thinks, so is he. As a man thinks, so is he. To change the way we think. In that my moment that I had that conversation, I had difficulty embracing the statement my friend made in 2007, 2006. That, look, do you know that you can earn 3 times the salary? So much difficulty. Incidentally, in 2009, the company I was working for, Airtel, they made some changes. Opportunity came. At the time that opportunity came, I had done my certification in ITIL. I was part of the service desk. 2 of the people that I had come into the company with as contract staff had moved on to other roles. And when they outsourced IT operations to a company called ITS, I became the supervisor of the service desk. And I was earning more than 2 times the salary. The door opened. I was prepared. But there has to be that journey sometimes of being mentally ready to embrace the opportunity. So, number 1, change the way. How do we do this? One of the ways to do this, and I've said it in previous episodes, is affirmations. Say what you desire to come deliver. Because see, when you accidentally speak, you are likely to be saying what experience has embedded in your soul. There's no job. This inflation is too much. This Ghana government, they just keep borrowing, going. In fact, this Tinubu must leave that seat. picking up all the things around you that are limiting. But you can also change the game by affirmations. See, it is not spooky. To some extent, it's not even spiritual. It's psychological. Saying things that change the construct of your inner mind so that you are able to embrace certain possibilities that you were not embracing before. And when the more you say it, the more that you are exposed to experiences that can help you realize what you are saying. Another way is exposure. A lot of us remain confined to our present environment, and we are not able to see what others are experiencing, and that we too can experience it. Exposure can come by books. Exposure can come by attending events. Exposure can come by attending talks like this. Exposure can come by talking with mentors. What you're trying to do is to change your thinking so that you can embrace possibilities. And the more deliberate you do it, the more you move deliberately to doing and say, look, I've been doing this in this way for so long. Is there another way? I've been living in this environment for so long. Is there somewhere else I can move to give my mind a different exposure? I've been talking with this circle of friends. They are always talking about what is wrong with my country. Is there a possibility of changing my circle of friends to people who speak different? I've been restraining myself to my family and friends in this country. Can I use online platforms to have conversations with other people like me who think differently, who speak differently? Expose yourself to different encounters, mental encounters, that can change your frame of thinking. That's how you prepare mentally for opportunities. Because that step is critical, to be mentally available, not just to because a lot of us are exerting so much effort. I will touch on this. But one of the things I discovered on LinkedIn is a lot of people once in a while, when they pass an exam, they come on, say, oh, I've passed this exam, I've taken this training. You see, you are exerting a lot of effort with little strategy, thinking that once somebody sees you are a Six Sigma, they'll suddenly call you for a job. But there are more complex dynamics than that. So you find that you're exerting effort. You say, but I'm on LinkedIn now. They say, oh, every day you're doing it. But I'm selling now. You think that you are making the effort, but you see, mentally, you probably have not become positioned to embrace that possibility. There's still a blocker that you need to deal with. And sometimes it takes a while to deal with it. Exposure, affirmations, associations, stuff that can change the way you think. That's number one. Change the way you think. I want you to just type something in the chat if it's making sense. I want you to type something in the chat. I want you to share with someone. I want to invite somebody if it's making sense. If it's not making sense, there's no need to share some rubbish with people. But if it's making sense, invite somebody to participate. Put something there. Remind yourself. Sometimes when you type, when you take notes, even though you're not going to carry the chat away with you, you're going to remember that I typed this in the chat. Thank you for that, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Change the way you think, and particularly about yourself. Can Nami be this? About yourself. Can I earn 3 times my salary? That was my thinking. That was my blocker in my mind. What? How can you tell me that? Ndubisi, his name is Ndubisi. I didn't voice it out, but it was in my spirit. Where will I pass from contract work, 74,000, to earn 3 times? Where will I pass? How can it be? Like Mary asked.